So it's been a few months. That's my bad. I'm here again. Please don't mind the mess. Sarafina is sleeping on the bed and I did not want to move her. So we're just gonna pretend that it looks normal over there. Anyway, I am back here to talk to you guys. I've not filmed in a month at least, maybe even more, maybe like 2 months. I don't know. It's been a while, so I'm feeling a little awkward. Hopefully it'll pass. I'm here today to talk about 2021, just to do a recap and hopefully set some goals. And I think once you guys have heard this absolutely massive list of things that I've done and that have happened over the past year, that you might have a better understanding of why I wasn't posting on here for the last couple months. But we'll get into that. There was so much stuff, I literally had to make a list. My notebook was kind of excessive. I mean, I knew it was a lot as it was happening, and I also knew it was a lot before I started writing a list. But then when I really started writing it, I was like, holy crap. Without further ado, here's a 2021 recap. Doodling sparkles. In the very beginning of 2021, I was hustling really, really hard. 2020 had been a bad year, not just for me, for literally everyone, but it had been a bad year for me personally, as well as obvious other reasons. But we're not here to talk about that. So in the beginning of 2021, I was like so excited. I was pumped. I was like, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be the year. I am gonna do so much stuff. And that did end up happening. At the time in January, up into March, I was delivering food for DoorDash, which was an experience. If you guys ever want to hear about that, just let me know. I would be happy to share my experience. That's also not what this video is about, but the point is that I was doing a lot. So I was delivering for DoorDash. I also started a TikTok account in the beginning of 2021 in January, like the first or second week, I don't know. And I was committed to posting one video every day there, which I actually ended up doing for like several months. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And I was also pretty committed to making a new YouTube video every single week at the time as well. And right in the beginning of January, I knew I had big goals for my shop this past year in 2021. So I bought a new printer because up until that point, I had been using my old printer that I literally got in like, I don't know, 2017 or like 2016 or something. It was quite old. And I had been sitting on my floor. There are some videos actually from the beginning of the year where I'm trying to get it to work and it did not work because there was dust on like all the internal parts. Never leave your printer on the floor. Never, ever, ever. Always put it on a shelf. Anyway, so I got a new printer. There's an unboxing video actually for that. I'll like put it somewhere here. I'll put a link to that if you want to watch it. So then in February, once everything was situated with the printer and everything was working out and I felt like I was confident, I did my first shop update of the year, which was all the new necklaces. I was very excited to offer these because I had been planning them and told people about them like in my life, and they were really excited and I was like, yes! So I launched the necklaces and that launch went pretty well. I mean, like nothing crazy, but like good for me as a small artist. And everything was going swimmingly for a while. You know, I was posting on TikTok, I was like doing the YouTube thing, and also still doing DoorDash for up until like the very beginning of April, at which point I actually caught COVID. That was unpleasant. It was literally a week before the vaccines were going to be available to everybody in the US. I think that they rolled out for all of the US, like there was no restrictions on who was allowed to get it, because obviously they gave it to the elderly and like the immunocompromised and, you know, people who had special physical needs before like the general public. And I believe they gave it to the general public in like April 14th or like the middle of April, somewhere in there. And I got COVID the first week of April, right after I went to file my taxes, and I was like, it was really unpleasant. I know that some people, you know, younger people typically, they would have COVID and it wasn't really that bad for them, but for me, it was pretty bad and it was scary. I was like very sick. I don't get sick that often. I don't usually get fevers. I don't think I've ever gotten the flu. I mean, I get colds all the time and I have allergies, but this was bad. I had a fever for like a week, a headache for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then you know, a week or a week and a half in, I started to have trouble breathing, which was pretty scary, you know. And there were points when I was thinking that I might have to go to the hospital, but I just really did not want to because I couldn't walk up the steps, you know. I have a room on the second floor and I would go to walk up the steps and I would get up to the second floor and I'd have to lay on the ground because I couldn't move, or you know, I'd go to wash my dishes and I'd only be able to stand there for like maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes before I would have to sit down just so I could breathe again. Like, it was unpleasant, it was very scary. So it took a while to get past that, and then I had an inner ear problem because I was so sick. Anyway, that's enough about that. The point is that it was horrible. So once I started to feel better, I started to hustle again because it was May and I was like, all right, I want to get another shop update done. I'm gonna keep doing this and it's gonna be awesome. So I got another printer, which was my ink tank printer. Unboxing link over here now. And the reason that I got that new printer was because I wanted to add memo pads and other types of stationery, and I had plans to add them, like, and more, and like add to them, not just add the stationery in this shop update, but to like build on it in future shop updates. So I needed a large quantity printer instead of my normal inkjet printer, which is great for art prints, but you know, the ink is just so expensive. Like, seriously, I don't, if anybody is making stationery with a regular inkjet printer, like, God rest your soul, because I can only imagine how much that would cost. Like, my mind, it like literally makes me internally cringe thinking. Anyway, so in this second shop update in June, now we're on update number 2, I added memo pads, die cut stickers, which was my first time doing stickers at all. That was interesting. I've been wanting to do them for a while. And I redid all of my bookmarks because I had been previously selling them, but I wasn't like super happy with them, so I redid them all. I added a bunch of new designs that I had been wanting to do for a while, and a bunch of new prints. Now at this point I was beginning to feel the burnout, the creative burnout, because this was a pretty large update. I think in this update I probably did like maybe 500 photos because it was so many different types of products, and that's not even counting like the edits of all of those photos, which is basically doubling the amounts that, you know. The point is that it was a lot of work and I was starting to feel a bit of creative burnout, but I just kind of was like, no, that's fine, we're just gonna ignore that, we're just gonna keep going hard, because creative burnout, psh, that's not a thing. So I pushed through that, and I wasn't able to get a whole lot done, but I like kept working because I had plans for yet another shop update. I got a silhouette in August and I was really excited and determined to figure out how to use it, because in my next shop update I was planning on adding sticker sheets. Now I was able to figure it out, but it did take a while. So in the middle of September I had my third shop update of the year, which had sticker sheets, stationery sets, which is like letter writing sets, earrings, as well as a whole bunch of new memo pads and a bunch of new prints. So that was great. That was fun. That was an interesting shop update. It was a lot of work for that one because I think I did 8 stationery sets. Yeah, 8 stationery sets, but the thing is that each set had like, I want to say 6. It was like 5 or 6 assets that would go along with it, because it was, you know, the paper, the envelope, a sticker sheet, a little mini, like a smaller piece of paper, and then a square piece, like a little memo. So doing all of those, it was like each product was like 5 products in one, which, you know, that's what I signed up for, but it was deceptively larger than it appeared. But it was something that I really wanted to do, and I actually really enjoyed it, so I think I'm going to continue to add more, but I'm just going to be more mindful in the future, because that was maybe too much. That one was, I mean, the other shop updates I hustled pretty hard for, but that one was particularly brutal because of the stationery sets all being so different. That was just, and I was on a strict deadline to get that shop update done, because at the end of September, I had my wisdom teeth scheduled to be removed. I had an appointment. I had been waiting for like maybe 6 months or more to get the appointment to have them taken out, and it was a whole thing with the insurance. If you've ever had any problems with your insurance and like doctors being removed from your insurance and just general ridiculousness, and then add in COVID is still happening, the wait times are extra long because there's not as many appointments, then you have an idea of what that experience was like for me. Not to mention the fact that I have severe dentist anxiety. Now, I have known that I needed to get my wisdom teeth out since like, God, I don't know, 2015 or something. This has been weighing on me for like 6 years. It's been hanging over my head because every single dentist that I've ever gone to has been like, hey, you know, you need to get wisdom teeth out. And then last year, earlier in 2021, they started to stab through my gums and it was really hurting, which is when I was like, I guess I finally have to do this. Now, leading up to this, I was having pretty severe anxiety because it was just terrifying, the prospect of having them removed, but I pushed through that and I had them taken out. Recovery was difficult for me, actually. It was bad. It took a while for them to heal. Now, I thought everything that I read said that you'd be like okay within like 2 weeks. Just to give you guys a picture of where I'm at now, I still don't eat Triscuits. That was like 6 months ago, like 5 months ago. I still can't eat Triscuits, like anything that's like really, really rough. I can't eat things that have like little tiny pieces that won't break down. I don't eat nuts at all anymore because I'm like scared because the whole area is still... Anyway, so that happened at the end of September, literally like a week after my shop update, which was great, but at least it's done. Now it is no longer weighing on my soul and like I'm mostly healed at this point, so a deep breath of it being just done at least. That's something. I'm grateful that it is in the past, relatively. And then I was not even yet fully healed when I was like, you know what would be a good idea? To do like a shit ton of craft fairs. So that's what I did. So as soon as I was able to, I started getting ready for the fall and holiday craft show season. I had done a couple of craft fairs in the past. I think before this point I had only done like 3. So I didn't really have any merchandisers or like table display type things to put my products in, because the last time I had gone to craft fairs, all I had was like original paintings and ornaments and keychains and like my really old bookmarks, and I only had like a handful of things. So like the table design at that point was pretty bare bones. Like it was simple. I didn't even bring, I think I only brought prints to like one event, and I had made these like displays out of, what's that poster board that's like pressed paper? Foam core board. I had made some like stands for my prints out of foam core board in like February 2020. Now obviously those did not survive because it's foam. So I needed to make new stands for all of my new products because I had like a ton now. Now at this point I had like maybe like 7 or 8, 9 maybe different types of products that I had nothing to put on. And you can't just like lay them out on a table like flat, because first of all they wouldn't fit, second of all it would look terrible. So I had to make a bunch of stands for all my products. So as soon as I started to feel like I could move around and I wasn't on like ridiculous anti-pain things all the time for the teeth, I got right to work on my craft fair prep. And I had my first one on October 26th, which started off a lovely chain of craft fairs, which it was 7 shows over a period of 9 weeks. It was at least one show almost every weekend. There was a couple weekends where I had off, but not that many. And then I had things during the week. Now it was a lot. These were not shows that were like within 5 minutes of my house. I think the closest one was like a half hour away at the least, but most of them were at least like an hour away. And you know, craft fair starts at like 9 or like sometimes 8, usually 9, and You have to get there an hour before or like 2 hours before if you have a big display. And, you know, if you're like an hour and a half away, that's like 3 hours before, and 3 hours before 9, that's like 6. And I'm an insomniac, so it was a lot, but it was really fun. I loved doing it. It was amazing. Totally worth it. I really enjoyed it. Now, some events were better than others, and I definitely won't be going back to the events that weren't that great, but the ones that were, it's so fulfilling to see somebody pick up something and then they're really happy and they take it with them. Like, there's just something about that that you don't really get on a website sale. I mean, it's really great when someone finds you in your online store. Like, that's a great feeling too. It's just amazing that somebody ever would want to buy my art to begin with, but that personal connection that you get when you're at an in-person event is really cool. Honestly, it's very, like, it's emotionally gratifying, I guess, or fulfilling or something, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, so that was a great thing. That was amazing. I loved going to craft fairs, but I think going to 7 craft fairs over 9 weeks up until Christmas basically is maybe not a good idea. Maybe not the best idea. It was a lot, but I did enjoy it, so. Which brings us to the end of 2021. I took the last 2 weeks of the year off, pretty much. You know, spend some time with family, get ready for Christmas, because up to that point there was no free time at all. You know, I'd be going to craft fairs on the weekends and then preparing for them during the week, slash like recovering. So I took the last week and a half, 2 weeks off before Christmas, and then, you know, that was it. That was the end of the year. So let me look at my notes here. Overall, in 2021, there were 3 shop updates. I added in tons of new products. I didn't count them, but I'll list them off. I added necklaces, earrings, the stationery sets, the memo pads, the planners. I added in stickers, like die cut stickers, sticker sheets, redid all the bookmarks, added in plenty of new prints. I think that's 9 new types of products. Well, like 8 new products, thousands of product photos. I counted, I went through my folders because I have them organized by shop update. I counted 2,352 photos. Like I mentioned earlier, that's not counting all the editing, and that, which basically creates another photo, but just taking 2,352 photos. And those were just the ones I could find. There were some that I couldn't find, that I don't know where the original photos are. If they're like in one of my other files that like they're just buried in some folder somewhere. I got 2 new printers and a silhouette machine and learned how to use all of those things. The silhouette was definitely the hardest to learn how to use. I went to 7 craft fairs. I made 23 YouTube videos, and I am not gonna count the TikTok videos, but let's just say I made 1 new video every day from January to like May, because I think at that point I was like, I can't do this, you know, I had gotten COVID and it was just like, ah. So that's like 30 times 5 for 120 maybe. So now that you see all of those things, I hope maybe you can be not too angry about the fact that I have not been here for months, because it was a lot. Looking forward to 2022, I feel like so many of the goals that I had, like the hard, concrete, fully in my control goals, I was able to do them. So I'm strangely feeling a little bit confused and unsure of what I should be doing next. I mean, don't get me wrong, I definitely have some new product ideas that I'm pretty excited about. I also have some products that I brought with me to craft fairs that I haven't even been able to put on the website yet because I don't have time. So I have small goals going into the new year, but as far as business goals go, I'm not really sure. I'm not super sure of where I'm gonna go next. I just wanted to check in with you guys and let you know all of the things that happened this year. Maybe give you a little bit of context for where I'm gonna be at heading into the new year. I've definitely learned a lot, and I think that that's gonna influence this new year for me. One of the things that I've learned is that as much as I enjoy making studio vlogs, I don't think that it's something that I can do every week continually, because I get into this headspace where I feel like I have to film everything and I can't do anything until I'm actually filming that thing, which makes me slow down and it makes me very stressed. Like it'll stop me from doing things when I'm feeling inspired because the lighting's not good, or like, you know, it's the middle of the night or I haven't taken a shower and I look bad and I don't want to be on camera, like, and I don't think that that's really great for the creative process or for me mentally. Like, I don't think, I mean, I'm a little bit jealous of people who can crank out those studio vlogs every week, but for me, I don't think that that's really something I can do. So I'm probably going to be shifting my videos a little bit on here in the future, just because I have to for my own sanity. It's a bummer because like I like making them, but I just get so stressed out. And then I feel like I have to film every other little tiny thing to include to make it more like interesting, instead of it just being me like painting or like typing on the computer for like the whole entire studio vlog. I'm like, oh, I have to do like fun things, so it's like fun for people to watch this. Like, let me, I don't know, make some food or something. But like, realistically, first of all, my kitchen is gross, so it's not cute. It's not like aesthetic at all. The counters are green, and not like cute sage green. It's like 50s, what do you call that green? Pea green, that's what it is. It's pea green. Like 50s or 60s pea green. Nasty. Like, not aesthetic. Not like 2020 like sage green kitchen. No, not like that. And I don't want to be like that, you know? I don't want to feel that pressure and stress myself out and overthink every single, like, I don't want my life, my entire life, to be content. And I'm not even like, I'm not even making money off of this, you know? Like, I'm not profiting from this. Like, my YouTube channel is so tiny. It's just a little bit more stress than I can handle. So I'm gonna be taking a step back from studio vlogs. I'd like to still do them, you know, once every now and then, but like with very strong boundaries for me. That probably won't reflect at all for what you guys see. Like, it's still probably, the videos are gonna be the same, but like for me, that's an internal change that I need to make. I just wanted to like be vocal about it and be open, because I am 100% sure that I am not the only person who feels this way. And I have watched other people's, like other small YouTubers studio vlogs, and they also end up taking breaks for like months at a time. And it just really makes me wonder, are these other people also struggling with this, I need to film every single part of my creative outlet process, and then they end up burning themselves out? Like, someone needs to speak about this. So I'm speaking about it because I think it's important. That I don't want you to feel, if you're another creative out there and you're like, yeah, that's me, you are not alone. Like, aggressively pointing at you, you are not alone. Yeah, so that's one big takeaway for 2022. I'm probably gonna start doing more like themed and like solo art challenge videos. I was thinking of seeing if I can challenge myself in different ways, and then doing more like talking videos, kind of like this one, where I don't have to make a new piece of art or like 5 new paintings every time I make a video. You know what I mean? Because it was just too much. That's all. It's just too much. It's too much for me. So those are some of my YouTube goals. As far as art and businessy type goals go, I am a little more fuzzy on them. I got so much done in 2021. I got a lot of the products that I wanted to get done. So there's not really a ton of new things that I want to make, although there are a few. I would like to make some keychains using shrink plastic. I'm not going to explain it here because it's kind of a weird process. I'll probably turn that into a video, but I'm not sure if it'll work. So I have to figure out if that's even an option before I like commit to making a whole new line of products. I'm probably going to add to the existing lines of products, like make some new stationery sets. I'm thinking of doing a spring flowers type of update for spring. It's all very loose right now for me. Although I do want to do mermaid. And I made a list of prompts in 2021 that I really wanted to do for mermaid that are all like kind of location based, so I could make like little scenes. I didn't get to do them, but I was so angry at myself. So this year, I am gonna do them. I swear to God, like, cross my heart. It's happening. So that's something to look forward to. I think for me, as far as business side of art goes, businessy art, I'm gonna try to achieve some balance, because in years previous I have spent months focusing on back-end type of things, or like weeks or months, and the more I focus on those back-end types of things, which is stuff like PR, you know, marketing, things like Pinterest, or, you know, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, like the stuff that's not creative, the stuff that's not designing, all of the back-end, like getting your stuff featured on places and like doing wholesale. I'm gonna try to achieve some balance, because on the times that I would focus on all that back-end stuff over and over again, I would find myself getting really depressed, because those efforts, they take a lot of time to show results, and if you put in a lot of work and you don't see a lot of results, it can be tough. It can be hard on you, like mentally, emotionally, and as a creative person, I would always find myself feeling like I wasn't even an artist anymore, and I didn't like that feeling. Like, that was sad for me, it was hard, and when I wouldn't see results, I would get into this negative spiral of like, maybe I'm not good enough to make it, or maybe I should just give up, or maybe the time has passed and I'm doing this too late, you know? Like, I don't think that's good. I don't think that's healthy. I don't want to keep doing that. So what I'm gonna try to do instead is check in with myself and make sure that I do art at least once every week, or, you know, every now and then, so that it is never going to be weeks at a time where I'm only doing back end and not doing any creative stuff, because that just, it kills me. I can't do that. Like, personally, I can't do that. So that's like a weird goal. It's not like flashy or exciting, but I think that's kind of the theme for this year. I don't have a lot of flashy and exciting stuff because I did all of that stuff in 2021. All the flashy, exciting things, not all of them. I'm sure that there's things that I'm not gonna predict that will happen that may end up being flashy and exciting this year. But because I did so much new stuff last year, I think this year is probably gonna seem calm and more just like even working towards going up, hopefully. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little check-in video. I don't usually do this type of thing because I think of myself as, or I have thought of myself in the past as just an artist, and that the art is the most important thing, and that I'm kind of, or I should be like a background in my own online presence. Like, I shouldn't be the main focus, and that the art should be. And I think that's fine if people want to do that, but I don't know. I just wanted to try something new and maybe push myself out of that way of thinking a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So yeah, I'm gonna go make some banana bread. I already lost like one bunch of bananas. I had to throw them out because they got so bad. Not this time. This time I'm gonna actually make the banana bread. Yeah, here's to 2022 being a good year. Here's to that. I hope that your 2022 is great. I hope it's amazing. I hope mine is good too. I think that's all I have to say. I've been talking for like a half hour straight now, so 45 minutes. Alright, I will see you in the next video. I would love if it was next week, but being realistic, I do not know if that is going to happen. We'll see. Maybe I'll be able to get it done. I don't know. I will see you in the next video at some point, whenever that is. Yeah. Bye. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye.